I know you see the glasses, the whiteboard, and the marker. So you already know I'm about to teach y'all something, okay? So grab your pens, grab your papers, and get ready for this, okay? Today we are learning relation equation, where we're going to be learning about different types of dynamics in relationships. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the skinny of each category of relation, and what's the best and what's the worst, okay? And what it looks like, okay? Like, I'm doing a whole deep dive today, okay? So grab your pens and papers if you haven't already, because I'm about to teach you something. Anyways. What up, you guys? Welcome back to the Dre Files, featuring yours truly, Ariandre. But you could... Somebody just walked up in my house. Don't y'all just hate it when maintenance just walk up in your house? Like, I get you have a key, but sir, you gotta knock. He just all up in my closet. Get up out that closet. Anyways, what up, you guys? Welcome back to the Dre Files, featuring yours truly, Ariandre. And today we gonna get into some stuff, as you can see from the whiteboard behind me. But before we get into that, you know I gotta do a quick promo for my business. Okay, it's Pride Month, so guess what my shirt says? Kiss me, I'm gay. Kiss me, I'm gay. And then on the back, we got two beautiful black gay people. Do you love it? Do you love it? Do you love it? Because I love it. And I'm about to be wearing it and strutting it all throughout Pride Month. Okay. Anyways, you can cop yours today at ariandre.com. That's ariandre.com. Again, that's ariandre.com, baby. Get yours today and use code AriandreTV for 20% off and checkout. Amen. Okay, so enough with the promo. Let's get into today's video. And for starters, I know you see the hair, baby, okay? Can we get into the details? Can we get into the details? Can you? Anyways, I hope you can see. Ooh, you saw how that just... Anyways, look, the top of this, not gonna hold you, it's looking a little suspicious. So instead of wearing this beautiful braid that I would love to leave out, if this top piece would just work with me. I don't have enough hair. I needed more hair for this style. We're gonna have to redo it and run it back, because I love the, you feel me? I love to just done whip my glasses off, but I love a good whip, you feel me? Anyways, so we're gonna get serious, get sophisticated, because I gotta teach y'all a little something. So we're gonna put this into a bunion, and if y'all see something up there, when I turn my head around and try and teach, y'all better not say it. Is the bunny even? Oh. Now, Bookie, I don't know about you, but that thing looks sideways. That thing looks sideways. Okay, so look, full hair rotation now that we got it all situated. Pal, honey. Pal, honey. I don't know why whenever I'm gonna film and then go right to bed, my makeup want to come out cute and banging and like busting. But like look at the lashes. I just feel like I look like a little doll. A little doll, baby. These things are gonna fall, but my nose piercings catch them. So if you see them down low like this, fuck it, I'm a grandma today, okay? Today's topic is called the relation equation. And I'm going to be going through different type of relationship dynamics. And this could be any type of relationship. This could be a friend, family, significant other type of relationship, just any type of relationship based on these people's mannerisms. The first one, unhealed versus healed. Now, I'm going to do a lot of writing in this video. If you see any grammatical errors, shut up. No, you didn't. Okay? I went to school for mathematics, not reading and writing. And that's why today we're talking about equations. We're not talking about writing. Healed versus unhealed relationship dynamic. So we're going to use U for unhealed and H for healed. And I'm going to show you the 3 different types of relationship dynamics. You got unhealed plus a healed person. If you got an unhealed versus a healed person, baby, the unhealed person is going to be toxic to the healed person, okay? The unhealed person is just going to be toxic because they don't know any better. They're still in that unhealed era. They're still trying to figure out what the real ways is to love. The first example is going to be unhealed with a healed person. Now, in this relationship dynamic, the unhealed person is going to be toxic towards the healed person. Why? Because they're still in their unhealed era. They're still healing from all the past trauma, all the past wounds, and they're putting off any of that trauma onto the healed person. So what this looks like in a relationship is you'll have the healed person becoming a therapist for the unhealed person. Or the unhealed person will get mad over little things because that's what they're used to. That's what, has happened in their past, and that's what they've been worried about. Or you'll have a situation where the unhealed person mistakes this type of peace from a healed person as boring. And that's only because they're used to chaos. As long as the unhealed person is open to the healing process, then this can work out. Because this person could get them to push towards healing. You feel me? But in a relationship where this person is not ready to heal, then it's only going to bring this person down, and it's going to be a toxic type of relationship. So your next type of relationship is going to be a unhealed with an unhealed person. That's just, brother. That's what that is. That's brother. Okay? An unhealed and an unhealed person is just toxic on toxic on toxic. Okay? That's you didn't text me back for 2 hours, so now I'm about to double that time and when I'm gonna text you back. It's just tit for tat, toxic for toxic. They're both mentally in their head, and you just can't. Now, this type of relationship dynamic is just very rah-rah. Because neither of y'all are healed. So everybody is just reacting to what has happened to them in the past rather than trying to move forward. So they're holding on to all of this pain, anger, and whatever the heck happened in the past, and now they're putting that into the relationship. And 2 people from 2 separate paths, just, it's just an explosion waiting to happen. Now, your last relationship dynamic is going to be your healed person with a healed person. And honestly, that every time is going to be complete and utter happiness, okay? Because they know how to communicate. They know how to talk things out. They know how to express what's on their mind. They know how to just communicate better and be there for each other. And, not bring the past into their current relationship. You feel me? That's the ultimate thing we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to that healed version, okay? Now, this, again, an unhealed person and a healed person can turn into this happy-go-lucky. But only if this person is ready to heal. If they're not, it will stay like this and it will be toxic. It will be what? Toxic! So the next dynamic, right, is the broke versus rich. Now, I don't mean that in actual literal terms. I mean people with broke mindset or rich mindsets. For example, a broke mindset would be somebody who gets their check, spends it on everything, and now you don't have any money for the things that truly matter. Broke mindset. Rich mindset, somebody who saves, somebody who has money to spare, somebody who makes sure their income is more than all of their stuff and then some. You know what I'm saying? They can have money for trips every now and again. You know, that type of mindset. Okay? So boom. In a relationship dynamic, again, the first one is going to be the mixed breed. Broke versus rich. You put them together, it can be good, it can be bad. Now, if this is a dynamic where the rich person wants a broke person, as in sugar baby, sugar, sugar to sugar with that money mine, you feel me? That type of dynamic, it can work out. It's happy-go-lucky. But if you have a dynamic where the broke person is mooching off of the rich person or always relying on the rich person and never having it for themselves, it becomes to be a dependent relationship. It gets to a point where this person is putting out way more than this person can ever put in. And it becomes an uneven relationship. So that's always going to be a little shaky. That's going to be a little shaky. Did I spell it right? I don't know. Don't judge me. That's how it's going to be today. Shaky. Anyways, this type of a dynamic can work out, again, if the rich person wants a broke person, as in somebody to take care of, spend money on, all of that stuff, or they have it fully for themselves to where spending money on this person doesn't matter. But it also can't be a type of dynamic to where this person, the broke person, is mooching off of them, because that's when it becomes a uneven dynamic, and that's when it becomes a more of a using type of relationship rather than, happy-go-lucky. You feel me? Now, this person, the rich person, the rich mindset can rub off on the broke mindset and make that person turn that B to an R real quick. You feel me? But only if they're willing to elevate. The mixed breed can always elevate because there's always somebody who's on that other end, who's made it to the finish line. The mixed type of relationship can always turn into that solid, good relationship that we're looking for. But yeah. So that relationship is like that. The next one, obviously, broke with broke, can't go, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's boring. That's boring. We can't both not have money. How we going to see each other? How we going to do anything? Like, we can't both just be broke. We cannot both be broke. Like, two people with a broke mindset means there's no, like, future. Because y'all not planning for the future. Y'all don't have money for the future. Y'all not having that mindset that y'all need in order to have a future together. So what are we doing? Hell, y'all don't even have a short-term mindset to have, like, trips together or just go on dates together. Like, y'all basically going to be sitting at home. And then sometimes y'all might even not have your light bill on because y'all wanted to spend it on X, Y, and Z instead of your light bill. That's that broke mindset. You spending the money on the wrong things. Spending money on the wrong things. But two people with a broke mindset equals, where the money at? Like, ain't no funds. Like, there's no funds. Like, what are we doing? We literally can't do anything. Literally. There's no funds for us to be able to do anything. And also, nobody's trying to elevate to that next level to where, okay, we got money now. We got money now. Like, neither of these people are trying to get to that rich mindset. Trying to save money, collect money, or do things to elevate their standing. Broke mindset. Two people together like that. Hey, if you like it, I love it. We can be broke sitting in the house with the lights off and the cockroaches. That's cool. But, like, ultimately, personally for me, I don't know about y'all, but I want to get to that rich on rich mindset, which is my next one that I'm coming up with. Rich on rich mindset. That's two people that can elevate together. That's two people who can, again, have that happy ending. Because they're elevating together. They have the rich mindset. They're saving money. They're planning for the future. They're spending their money wisely, but also having enough money to spend carelessly if they want to. They're making sure their job puts them above the threshold of what they need for their month-to-month check. All right, next dynamic. We got the liar versus the truther. Don't know if that's a word, but it's gonna be one today. The liar versus the truther, okay? Now, first dynamic. If you have a liar with a truther, right? There's multiple ways that this can play out, correct? If you have a person who always tells the truth, this can honestly persuade the liar to no longer be a liar. They can turn this liar into a truther real quick because I like you. You've always been honest with me. I don't want to lie anymore. I don't want to lie to you, at least. You know, if that type of dynamic comes out, that's great. We love that. We love when somebody's good energy can have a positive. If you have a liar with a truther, and the truther knows that this person is a liar, it's going to be hard for them to believe. It's going to be hard for them to believe anything that the liar has to say. Any type of excuse. So say you're out till 5 a.m. with your boys. You tell the truther that, they're going to be 50-50 on whether or not they believe you. They want to believe you because they're in a relationship with you, but they know you're a liar. It makes the dynamic hard because how can I believe you? And then also, the liar can take advantage of the truther because they know they're always going to tell the truth. If you're always going to tell me the truth and I'm lying to your face, I can pretty much do whatever and make sure you're in check. We don't like that type of dynamic. That's an extra abusive type of dynamic. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. We don't like no liars. Get the L's out of here. Because you're a what L? It looked okay. It looked about right. Anyways, this is going to be an untrustworthy relationship. And it's going to be on the part of the liar. Okay? Because they always going to tell the truth. And that's a bad type of dynamic. That's an evil motherfucker. But yeah, if a liar ever gets to that point where they're taking advantage of the truther because they know they're going to tell the truth no matter how much they lie, it's crazy work. That's a different type of dynamic, and that means this person needs to go ahead and leave. If you're hearing this type of dynamic and I'm telling you what you need to do, baby, go ahead. Because if you're the truther and a liar and truther relationship, get to getting. Because once a liar, always a liar. And if they're going to continue to lie to you and lie to your face, even if you tell the truth, they will always continue to lie to you. Amen. Okay. But like I said, there is a small chance that a truther could get the liar to feel for them so much that the liar starts to tell the truth or no longer wants to lie to this person. The next relationship is a liar on a liar. A liar on liar. A liar on liar. What relationship? What relationship? What relationship? Because if you both lying to each other, hell, how do you know you even in a relationship? I could have been lying to you when I said yes. Y'all both a liar. I can't trust. Neither one of y'all could be trusted. Why are y'all? That's toxic. That's toxic. That's toxic. What relationship? That is a toxic situationship right there because neither of y'all are telling the truth about how y'all really feel. Y'all are liars. We don't like that. We don't like the liar on liar, okay? Because where are we going in this relationship? A relationship has to be built on trust, and that could be any type of relationship dynamic. That could be friends, family, whatever. If you're both lying or you both have a tendency to lie or just not tell the truth or be trustworthy or have that open communication, it's not going to be a relationship. That's going to be a relationship built off of lies, and that's not a relationship at all. Because you have to have some type of trust, some type of something with whoever you're having this relationship with. So a liar on a liar, very toxic, not going to work out probably. Now, if y'all both just like, if you do it, I'm going to do it. If you lying, I'm going to lie. Go ahead with your toxic self. Go crazy. But keep that over there with the liars on liars, okay? Don't bring it over here with the truth tellers and people who be wrecking their brain if they lie to their partner. If they ever lie to the person that they trying to have a relationship with, they're like screaming in their head at themselves. They feel that guilt. That's who I want. I'm on that side, okay? I can't lie because it literally makes me sick. Especially if the person I like, a little white lie to a stranger. Like when people ask me my age, I'm like, I'm 30. That's a white lie. It does not hurt you, affect you in any type of way, shape, or form. I feel sick to my stomach when I lie, like to my partner or something like that. So say I feel guilty about something that I did, I'm gonna come out and say it, because I can't hold it in, because I feel guilty. If I feel guilty, I feel like I've lied. I feel like I've let you down. I feel like, all of that stuff. A liar does not do that. A liar does not feel guilty. A liar just keeps lying and does it with no remorse. We don't like those type of relationships. That's not a healthy relationship. So if you're in a relationship with a liar, oh, L for let him go. L for let him go. L for let him go. But ultimately, yes, this is what we're trying to get to, that unity, that truth on truth, baby, that infinity love. Okay? The truth teller on truth teller is where we trying to get at. That's the ultimate relationship goal. The next type of relationship dynamic is a giver versus a taker. Okay? You already know the mixed couple, the giver versus the taker. Okay? This relationship dynamic is a little bit sketchy. Because if the giver keeps giving, they are going to feel used. And if the taker keeps taking, they're going to feel entitled. That says entitled. If the giver keeps giving, their cup is always going to be empty, while the taker keeps taking and their cup's always going to be full. This person is always going to feel satisfied because they're getting. But this person is always going to feel unsatisfied or down about the relationship because they are quite literally giving, and never receiving. I feel like the giver and taker is pretty self-explanatory, but you have to have some type of mix of both. It has to be a give and take in the relationship. It can't just be one being all and one being nothing. Like, it has to be a nice little give and pull. You feel me? So in a taker versus taker relationship, that becomes competitive greed. That gets to a point where y'all are just going back and forth to see who can take more, who can get more out of the other person. And that's just toxic. T for toxic. Because y'all are just like, oh, let me see how much I can get. Let me see how much I can get. Let me see how much I can get. That's toxic. That's toxic. But ultimately, what you're trying to get to is that giver and giver. Because if I'm giving to you, you got to take it. If I'm giving to you, you got to take it. So if both people are giving and filling into each other's cup, then nobody is going to be left unsatisfied. Because we're both givers. We're both giving to each other. We're both finding little small gifts for each other. Oh, this is I'm thinking about you type of gift. Or, oh, like, I'm giving you, like, what's it called? I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you my energy. I'm giving you small acts of service. You feel me? Like, if we're both giving each other stuff, we're both feeling fulfilled. We're both feeling love. And that's the relationship we're trying to get to. In all scenarios, we're trying to go for the best on best type. Now, ultimately, yes, a taker can end up being a giver. All these situations where it's a combination of both, they can turn the worse of the two into the better of the two. So the taker can turn into a giver, but only if they want to. Only if they feel for the giver that much. And honestly, that's how most of these dynamic works. If the person who is doing the bad trait is willing to change or open enough to change or loves their person or whoever they're in a relationship with enough to change and be that good version of themselves, then it will always work out. That will always get them to this. But if you don't have somebody who's willing to change or willing to take that next step or understands, hey, I'm doing the worst, they're not going to get it. They're not going to change. And it's just going to end up being a very uneven, what's it called? What's this thing called? Scale. It's going to be an uneven scale. We don't like that. So the next dynamic we have is a secure person versus an insecure person. In these two dynamics, when they're mixed like this and you have an insecure person with a secure person, so in a mixed couple where you have a secure person and an insecure person, that insecure person is always going to be seeking validation from the secure person. The secure person doesn't need validation. The secure person knows we're good. We're good. You know, I see what this is. We're good. You know, there's nothing else. But this insecure person is like, oh, well, in the past, I thought that, you know, X, Y, and Z was good, but it didn't really be. So now I'm like, da 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 da, and da 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 da. So now I think you're going to da 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 da. And they're just second guessing themselves. They're getting in their head about everything. They're not focusing on the actual relationship. They're letting their head get in the way of their relationship. Anyways, so a secure person and insecure person example could be like the secure person saying, I love you. The insecure person is going to be like, but do you really though? Like, do you really love me? They always need that extra form of validation because they're insecure within themselves based off of what has happened to them or just how they are in their head. You know, I'm a little bit, not gonna hold you, let me be honest, but I'm a little insecure. I haven't reached that secure mindset. But like I said, in any relationship where it's mixed like this, a secure person can make an insecure person secure because they, one, instill that mindset. They're instilling that mindset. They're giving them that energy. They're telling them the validation that they need in order to feel secure. But then in doing so, they learn to be secure themselves. So that now turns to this. It can always happen. They just have to be willing to grow and change. But when you have an insecure person, the secure person might feel a lot of pressure because they're always having to validate your feelings and emotions, and it can't just be what it is. An insecure person and an insecure person, baby, that is another toxic relationship. Everybody is FBI agents. Those are people that are checking each other's phones late at night. They can't fathom the thought that they're getting a text at 2 a.m. So they got to check their phone. These are the type of people who are looking at locations. Like, both parties are guilty of doing the same thing to each other. That's just unhealthy. If there's like no type of security to where I'm like, that's my person, they can go out into the world and I know that they're still going to be my person. If there's no type of security within yourself to know that this is your person or friend, family or whatever, and like you need validation from them on your relationship, it kind of becomes like a stressor. But when you have two insecure people, y'all are both going to be looking for that validation in each other, and it's not going to be there because y'all are both needing that validation. It's going to be a stress on both of y'all now. And because y'all are both seeking validation, y'all both are also in your head a little bit more. But ultimately, we want to get to that secure mindset. Because that's what everybody needs to get to. That's what everybody should strive for, is that secure mindset. And that comes with just practice. That comes with just learning yourself, loving yourself. Because if at the end of the day, you love yourself, you should always be secure in whatever you're doing. If you love yourself, it doesn't matter whether somebody leaves you. It doesn't matter whether your family does you wrong. You love yourself, you will always be here for yourself, and you got yourselves back. If you know that within yourself and you trust and believe in that, then you can become secure. If you push out all the negative thoughts, which is easier said than done, because trust me, baby, I told y'all I'm here, but we getting there, okay? If you just push out the negative thoughts and try to give yourself the self-validation you need, so whatever you're insecure about or whatever you're going through in your mind, and you need to give yourself that validation. You can't keep seeking it out in other people. You need to find a way to listen to yourself. Because I know you say it. I know you probably say it. Because I'm right there with you. I'm insecure about certain things, but I also tell myself that same thought. So say I'm in a relationship. Oh my gosh, but like, what if they don't really like me? But then that same thought is like, if they didn't like me, they wouldn't be here. Start thinking that way. If they didn't like me, they would not be here. So stop getting in your head or feeling like X, Y, and Z. But if you start thinking positively, if you start listening to that same thought, the one that's actually making the most sense, you'll get to that secure mindset. It takes time. It definitely takes a lot of work to start pushing out bad thoughts, especially for us ladies, okay? Because every time I get on my cycle, it's only bad thoughts. I only get in this insecure mindset, okay? But everywhere else, I'm teetering in the middle, getting closer to secure. You feel me? But when I'm on that cycle, we all the way, all the way over there. So the next one on the docket is going to be emotionally unavailable versus an emotionally available person. So the first relationship dynamic is an emotionally unavailable person with an emotionally available person. Hell, try saying that 10 times fast. But it's always going to be straining on the emotionally available person because this person is too nonchalant. This person is trying to keep their feelings on wraps and keep it compact and inside and not let nobody know how they feel. But that could be a strain on the available person because I'm telling you how I feel, but you're never telling me how you feel or opening up. I kind of feel suspicious because why can't you feel nothing? Like, but an emotionally unavailable person, they can turn into an available person. They just got to be willing to open up. They just got to be willing to take that step in opening up to somebody other than being in their head. But until they do, it is always going to be a stress on the available person because they know how to express their feelings and emotions and convey that to other people. But the emotionally unavailable person doesn't. They're the type of person who will get a paragraph sent to them by the emotionally available person explaining their whole emotions in detail, why they feel it, how they feel it, what led up to them feeling it, while this person is just like, okay, what does okay mean? Can you spit something back for me? Can we understand? Can we discuss? Because that gave me nothing. I don't even know how you feel about the situation. Like, why are we what is okay? What does okay mean? An emotionally unavailable person and an emotionally unavailable person. But in this relationship dynamic, it's going to be like a silent type of like feud. Like if there's ever something going on, like both parties are too in their head or both parties are not trying to emotionally talk to the other person or like be open about how this made me feel bad and I want to express that to you. They're too in their head or they're too unavailable to express that to their person or whoever it is in their relationship. And now it just builds to unsolved resentment, quiet tension, all of this extra stuff when all they have to do is just express their emotions and get it out. Get it out. You will feel so much better if you get it out, Bookie. I promise. I can't take away from the people who are emotionally unavailable because of trauma or things that they've been through. So I can't take that away from you. I get it, Bookie. And it takes time to get to that availableness again. Okay? Because I've been there. I've been emotionally unavailable where I'm not like I'm keeping everything on lock. I'm nonchalant. I'm not putting no energy, no response into anything because I can't bear to put my emotions into this. Sometimes that comes from fear of being hurt. Sometimes that comes from fear of your heart being broken because if you put out your emotions and somebody sees your true self, but then they break it, it hurts. And that's why sometimes emotionally unavailable people don't want to be emotional or don't want to express their emotions because they're afraid of getting hurt. But in a relationship dynamic where an available person is expressing to them and giving them that place to feel comfort and to feel like they can be emotional, that's when you'll see that turn into that good old AA, okay? That good old available and available, okay, Bookie? But an unavailable and an unavailable person, that's like a relationship on airplane mode. All calls are silenced, all text messages are not going through. There's no communication. There's no communication emotionally. There's no getting to each other because nobody wants to express themselves. And that's never good. We all want to get down to the emotionally available and emotionally available because these two people, they know how to communicate. They know how to express their emotions. They know how to also be empathetic and sympathetic of the other people's emotions. They're emotionally available, which means they're available to express and receive emotions from whoever they're in a relationship with. Love somebody. Express them emotions, Bookie. It's okay. I promise. I promise. And if anybody decides they want to freaking hurt you, if anybody messes with those emotions after you trusted them to put them out there, you come and tell me. And I'm getting all my friends and we gonna roll up to them and break their kneecaps off. Okay? You tell me if somebody do you dirty. And I promise you, I got you, Bookie. I'm riding in them black trucks and we riding at dawn. But don't be afraid to be emotionally available. Don't be afraid to trust somebody with your emotions. Don't be afraid to express yourself emotionally to other people. It's not bad to be emotionally available. It doesn't make you look weak. It doesn't make you look stupid. It doesn't make you look anything. It makes you look emotionally available. That's it. And that's a grown-up human thing to do. Be emotionally available. So don't feel like you can't be available, Bookie. Don't feel like you gotta be nonchalant. Don't feel like you gotta, turn your relationships on airplane mode because you don't trust somebody with your emotions or you don't want to take on somebody else's emotions. We all deserve love, Bookie. We all deserve that love and happy ending. And I promise you it's out there for you. So please, if we haven't already, Bookies, let's work on that emotional unavailability and turn it into availability. Okay? Amen. Do that look okay? So, the last and final one that I will be doing today is a person who takes accountability and the person who is a blame shifter, which means they try and shift the blame on somebody else. Okay, but I only did it because, yeah, that type of person. Anyways, so in the first type of dynamic, you have somebody who takes accountability and the person who blame shifts. So the person who takes accountability is somebody who says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to do that. Da 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 da. How can I fix it?" Person who's a blame shifter is, "I did it, but it's because you did X, Y, and Z. If you never did this, I wouldn't have did this. So now it's my fault that you treated me a certain way? No, no. Nay, nay. That is not how we do, okay? Did that kind of wrong? Anyways. So this type of relationship dynamic is a I'm sorry, it's your fault type of relationship. Because the person who's taking accountability, they're always going to say, I'm sorry, and try and fix it. While the person who's taking blame is always going to find a way to make it the other person's fault. And that's never good. Because if you can't see in how your actions are wrong, you're never going to get anywhere in a relationship. Any type of relationship. Because you have to be able to see the right and wrong in your doings, not just everybody else's. You have to be able to be self-aware to know, hey, I messed up. And especially if somebody's bringing it to your attention. If I'm telling you, hey, you hurt me, why is your response, I only hurt you because you didn't do this? Excuse me? That's not an excuse. I'm bringing it to your attention. If you was really hurt by that, you should have told me. But instead, you decided you want to hurt me, and now you're mad because of how I'm responding? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's an unhealthy relationship. This is always going to be unhealthy. The person who's taking accountability, they're going to end up being the person that's just like, I'm sorry, just to drop the conversation. Take the blame just so they can drop the conversation. But it's not always going to be that person's fault. And if the person who is a blame shifter can't get to the point of understanding that sometimes it is their fault, or understanding, hey, I need to take accountability for this because I did X, Y, and Z, and I'm wrong for that. The blame shifter can turn into somebody who takes accountability, but only if they give a crap enough. Otherwise, they're always going to try and put the blame on the other person. But if you really truly love somebody, or if you really truly like care for somebody, you're not going to always like pin it off on them, or like make every situation their fault, because it's not always going to be their fault. And you can't blame somebody for how they react to certain things. In a blame shifter and blame shifter relationship, nobody's guilty. Nobody's guilty, because you keep on tit for tatting and throwing it back and forth of whose fault it is. Nobody's guilty at the end of the day, but everybody's mad. Because you did something I didn't like, but I did something you didn't like. We're both mad. Neither of us want to take accountability for what happened. We just both gonna be mad then. I feel the way I feel because you did something. But I did something because you did something else. So now we just going back and forth, and until the beginning of the time, and that's just too long, too drawn out, too boring, too like No one's at fault, no one's guilty. It just keeps shifting back and forth. But everybody's mad because nobody's taking the blame. Nobody is giving that I'm sorry. That would just cure all the madness. You feel me? Now, we really want two people that can take accountability. Two people who are taking accountability, they're saying I'm sorry and then trying to find active ways to fix it, or saying I'm sorry and actually meaning it and trying to not do it again, and also not flip it onto the other person. If I can take accountability and realize, all right, I've done something wrong, let me fix it, or let me, do the changes I need to do to get to where I need to be, that's the type of person you're trying to be with. Or that's the person that's gonna give you that happy ending, okay? That is where problems get solved, okay? When two people can take accountability, that's where problems get solved, because, all right, I could see I did something wrong, so let's figure out ways to fix it. Rather than, I don't see that I did wrong. The only reason why you think I did wrong is because you did something to me that made me do it in the first place. So I'm not wrong for doing what I did. You wrong for even starting in the first place. Like, that's great. Like, that's a crazy mindset, and I can't get my mind around it. And if, baby, you like that and you're not self-aware enough to where you can take accountability, take it from me, Bookie. But the person you are dealing with, and you keep on trying to, let me take the glasses off because they're getting on my nerves. If you are dealing with anybody who's a blame shifter, it's draining. Because how can you not see your wrongs? How can you not see the wrong that you're doing or that you've caused? Can you not see how somebody else is affected by your actions without switching it on them? Without automatically going into defense mode and trying to throw it back on them? That's not how relationships work. That's not how communication works. That's not how we're going to get to the finish line. That's not how we're going to find a solution for what's going on. Nothing's getting solved if we're just throwing the blame back and forth. And nothing's getting solved if this accountability person is always getting the blame for everything, because this blame person does not want to take accountability for anything. It's a harsh dynamic, but we're trying to get to the accountability and accountability. Two people that can take accountability for their actions. If we can get to that level, that's kumbaya, baby, okay? This is when it gets a little tricky, and this is when we might have a long equation that's going to look a little mathematical, okay? It's going to look a little mathematical, but I promise you, it's okay. So these are the 7 dynamics that we went through today. The unhealed versus healed version, the rich versus the broke mindset, the liar versus the truth teller, the giver versus the taker, the secure and the insecure mindset, emotionally unavailable and emotionally available, tongue twister, and the person who takes accountability and the person who shifts the blame. Now, I know these equations look scary, but we walk through them. We know what they are, okay? Now, I just want you to choose and see which ones you are in each scenario. For me, I'm in between. I'm a little unhealed, healed, because I'm working towards that healed, okay? So mine's going to be U/H. We're getting into a little mathematics. If you're sticking with me, baby, I just want to see y'all's equations, okay? But I want to show y'all how I want to see it, okay? Okay? So bear with me for 2 minutes while I explain, and then I want to see what y'all equations are in the comments of what y'all are in each of these little sections, okay? And be honest, okay? Because if you broke, you broke. If you got that broke mindset, you broke. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to get to that rich mindset. It's cool. If you a liar, then lie. But like, be honest. I want you to be honest on this one, okay? Just tell the truth on this one. I want to see where we at. If you a liar, then lie. But I want to tell the truth on this. Tell me that you're a liar, okay? Or, if you still got that insecure mindset like me, be honest, Bookie. If you're in between, though, I'm going to show y'all what we need to do, okay? So, for me, I'm a healed, unhealed version, okay? So, we're going to put U/H, because I'm a little bit of both, okay? Rich versus broke mindset. Again, I ain't richy rich while I'm going on trips, but I definitely got that rich mindset, okay? I'm saving money. I can go on a trip if I plan for it. I'm closer to the rich side of things than the broke side of things, but I do be spending a little bit too much as I need to, or I be crazy with my money, so I am a little bit broke, but we gonna say rich because we on the rich mindset. I'm more rich mindset than anything, okay? Liar versus truth teller. Y'all already know me. I support telling the truth. That's what I make my whole podcast about. Every weekly dilemma that comes through, and the scenario is: do I tell them? Do I not tell the truth? Tell the truth. I'm always telling you to tell the truth. I'm a truth teller. I can't not tell the truth. I promise you. Giver versus taker. I'm a giver. Insecure versus secure. I am an insecure, secure mindset. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the secure. I'm insecure right now, but I'm getting to the secure. Okay? Emotionally available versus unavailable. I might be a little too available with my emotions. Okay? I'm too available with my emotions, and I'm an empath, so I'm too available with other people's emotions. I take in everybody's emotions, but I also express my emotions as soon as I feel them, and I know exactly how I feel, so I can express it vividly in writing. You feel me? Like, I know exactly what you did that hurt me, an example of it, how it made me feel, what the repercussions of it, and how we can move on from here. Like, I'm breaking it down like that. I'm very emotionally available. I'll tell you how it is, how it ain't, and what's in here and what's going on in my mind, because I just over explain and over talk and do a lot of overness like I am now. Anyways, I'm emotionally available. And then person who takes accountability versus blame. I like to take accountability. So my equation, if you're sticking with me, is going to be UH for unhealed, healed, plus rich mindset, plus truth teller, plus giver, plus insecure/secure mindset, because I'm a little bit of both, plus A squared. That's because I got 2 A's. That's not how math works. We got to do A plus A. Sorry. This is my equation. What's y'all's equation? I'm done for today. Did I school you? Did I teach you a little something on the different types of dynamics? Did I show you what you can and cannot do? And if you see the signs of the stuff that I've been talking about today, baby, we might need to work on it, okay? All right. But this is my podcast today on the relation equation. Okay, baby? And if you find yourself in any of these situations, always strive to be the better version of each. Always strive to be the better version of each, because that's what we're striving for. We're striving to be our best and greatest selves, okay? But the bad versions in all of these is only going to keep you further and further from happiness in life. In any type of relationship that you're in, there can only be so much of the bad, okay? We got to start stepping it up. We got to start walking towards the good side, walking towards the elevated side, walking towards the healed side, okay? If you're healed, you're going to be doing the good things. If you're unhealed, you probably still going to be doing some of the bad things. Like, if you're a healed person, you ain't going to be lying, because what you got to lie for? If you're a healed person, you going to be emotionally available because you're healed. Ain't no reason for you to be unavailable. You get what I'm saying? So, let's focus on ourselves and get to that healed version of ourselves. Let's get to that healed mindset. Let us try our best to put our best foot forward, okay? Let's elevate, okay? Let's elevate, because we talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of different type of relationship dynamics. And if you catch yourself falling towards the negative side, baby, come back over here on the good side. On the good side, we trying to elevate, okay? We trying to elevate on all parts. Now, I have been on the bad side of all of these. I don't want y'all to think I have not been there. The only reason why these are up here is because I've been the bad of all of these situations. The ones that are doubled right now, I'm still working on. But the rest of them, I've changed. I've elevated. So I'm telling y'all how y'all can elevate too, and what it looks like, and how that can hurt, harm, endanger any type of relationship that you're in. But I've been there. I've done that. I've been in all these situations. So if you're having trouble or something, or you want to talk about how to elevate more, leave it in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to hear, because I got a lot to say, okay? But that is all I have for y'all today. I hope y'all got a little entertainment from this, of me just talking. I don't know what made me think of this idea of like the different types of relationship equations, but I don't know. I'm telling y'all, this is a random podcast. I don't really be talking about nothing. I come up with random ideas and I sit in front of a camera and talk about it. Okay? Hopefully this was entertaining. Anyways, love you guys as always. I shall see y'all next Thursday. But before I go, please do not leave without letting me give you a kiss of good love, good faith, good everything, good energy, good love, good faith, good everything into the next week. You know what I'm saying? So if you would like a kiss, please stay tuned. If not, skip a couple of seconds, but give me your face, please. Mwah, 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 mwah. You are amazing, beautiful, and I hope you have an amazing week, and I shall see you next Thursday. Mwah.